Hello, everyone. Welcome. So, let's discuss this Harry and Meghan debacle with Netflix. I am really disappointed in Netflix taking on this documentary project with the ex senior royals, Meghan and Harry. There's a lot to cover. We are going to be getting multiple episodes in the coming days released by Netflix on Netflix for the world to see. I do think it's very important to note that they are going to be reportedly paid over $88 million. And on the heels of this, they've just arrived in New York City. I have watched the trailer. Do I want to watch the actual episodes? No, I have no interest, but I definitely think that, like me and like others, if we want to see the lies being told by Harry and Meghan, we have to watch it for ourselves, or maybe other people are going to opt out to watch clips because, as we know with the internet, there may be snippets cut out of the juiciest parts or the most controversial parts and are going to be re-uploaded, all over the web. So I don't know. Obviously, to cover it, I would have to watch it. I don't want to. So I have watched the trailers. I've watched the first trailer, the second trailer, and I did think that it was very amusing how they decided to drop these series of trailers over Prince William and Catherine being in America. Apparently this was a very big deal to Prince William, especially putting in a lot of effort into this event. And, I don't think that them releasing these trailers and dropping all these behind the scene photographs of their wedding and everything else, I don't think that that was a mistake at all. I really do believe that that was timed. It was orchestrated that way. On the same wavelength, we had the other story of the race row at Buckingham Palace. So what are the chances of that? The allegations that there was abuse and a war against Meghan could not be further from the truth. Everybody around the world watched the wedding. Everybody was in strong support of their marriage. And it was only Harry and Meghan's behavior and, quite frankly, revelation of lies and deception, like the moon bump that is now recirculated on social media. The moon bump travesty has come back up. People are sharing evidence and photographs and videos of the moon bump. On top of that, many people have chosen to decipher the Harry and Meghan Netflix trailers, pointing out that a paparazzi shot of probably well over 50 to 100 photographers, they tried to draw a correlation that this was taken when they were out and about at an event or being hounded by paparazzi. And in fact, it was from a Harry Potter movie premiere. There was also points in the trailer where they show Diana and Princess Catherine. Do I think it's inappropriate? 1,000%. Do they even get consent to put Catherine's picture and her walking to her car? And what permission, what right did they get to do this? It seems like this was not politely asked of anybody. I did see Piers Morgan react to his own voice being used in the trailer, and he described it as being traumatized. Why would he not? I would be traumatized if somebody who is an outright liar is trying to spin what you say or use something you've said from when things happened in the past, and then now they see your true colors and you're trying to draw a bridge where there is none. On top of that, there has been finally more reports and accounts that, Harry and our beloved late queen's last days, there was news of an invite, a formal invite, and, in general, Meghan and Harry were not too far away to visit the Queen, to also have visited Prince Philip before he passed away. So they've chosen, they've chosen to isolate themselves. They've chosen to act like they are so big and bad. And truthfully, it makes me feel sick. I would love nothing more than the whole world to really see them for what they are. It's like whatever is private, I feel should be private. And there has been so many lies, there's been so many lies from the Oprah interview, and the Oprah interview was disgusting enough. And then to take it up several notches, trying to get fake awards for, working on behalf of fighting racism. They've landed in New York to accept some award that is clearly fake. They didn't even last long enough as a married couple, as working royals, to actually do any real groundwork on, the issue of racism in general. They didn't work long enough to really prove, in my opinion, anything. So just my opinion, but from the crying to them constantly showing Catherine and Diana, it takes me all the way back to when the Queen was looking at Meghan and gave her that stern look. And that to me is a picture, a picture of a reference I always go back to. That reminds me that they knew about her. Everybody knew around Harry this was a bad idea, but the only person who couldn't seem to see it is him. And they just dig a deeper and deeper hole for themselves that they clearly don't want to get out of. I mean, it's one thing to ask for privacy, but then you make a podcast, you do a primetime television interview, and then on top of that, you're doing a documentary. So clearly, the privacy you're saying you want, Meghan and Harry, you're not even wanting for yourselves. You're wanting to make a huge profit off of this victimization and false allegations that have still yet to be proven, and they're not provable because they're false, end of story. A lot of people don't believe a lot about this couple, and for majority of the reaction I've seen, people are not falling for it. People are not buying it. And that makes me, reassured that people are not as dumb, as Harry and Meghan think. There will be a couple people out there that just chew this up and believe everything they say. But there is a lot of other people out here, the general public as well as the media, that are, following up on these photographs and video evidence and piecing together the real story. And they're showing that it's fake. A lot of this manufacturing, especially even in the trailers, is just outright fake. And they're never going to stop. I don't think that it's wise for really any mega streaming service or journalist or anything like that. I don't think it's wisdom to just take the bait, and just outright believe what they're saying. When Oprah did it, I thought it was probably one of the worst things in her career she will ever have done, because it was so damaging and so ridiculous in general. But then on top of that, to behave like you were not a part of that, it's like after the fact, all these people that are playing a part in the interview, the documentary, all these types of things, they resign, they step back, they act like their hands are not in the cookie jar. But these are the same people who've put money into this, have produced this, have pushed this on the television, and they're just as equally to blame because they have taken the bait, they have listened to a lie, they've listened to really just two people who have no self-control, and they've magnified an issue that could have been handled and dealt with a long time ago. So, you know, our queen just died. The queen's husband just died. On that premise alone, I feel like this should not even be happening. And if nobody, especially the fans, if nobody can see how disrespectful this is, how poorly timed this is, how majorly attention seeking this is, they're never going to see it. You know what I'm saying? They're never going to get it. And it's unfortunate, but there is us out here. There is people out here who do have respect for family, who do have respect for privacy, who do have respect for the truth. And there's going to be other people out here who live for drama. You know, they live for sensationalism. They live for the hype. And sadly, that is definitely, in my opinion, Harry and Meghan. So the general reaction so far from the public, they're not buying it. They don't believe it. But you know what? It's still something that I think is unfair because there's no basis to it. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, with the trailer, it's snippets of mainly Catherine and Diana. Diana is long gone. You know, may her soul rest in peace. She's been gone for a while now. You know, Diana has transitioned and has left this world a long time ago. So I think even on that premise of Harry trying to resurrect whatever personal pain Diana went through, whatever she went through with her divorce and everything else, is really none of our business. But Harry and now Meghan, they're making it our business. And that's what totally, in my opinion, cancels out this whole narrative of we want privacy. We want to be private citizens. We want to make our own money. You know, there's nothing kosher about it. There's nothing legit about it. All they're doing is lining up salacious interview and video and book deal after book deal. And they're on a high because in their peanut minds, they really believe that people can't see what they're doing, you know? They even tried to lie about not getting anything for the Oprah interview. I don't even believe that either. But the fact of the matter is why are they still going on about this? Why do they think that they have the right to lie for money? And I think that Netflix should be boycotted. I think they should be boycotted because you're stating something as a documentary that is just, in its basis, just from the trailer alone, is not factual, you know, and you're pushing it on the masses. So if you wanted privacy, you wouldn't do a documentary. If you wanted privacy, you wouldn't do a blockbuster interview for the whole world to see. You know, the actions are speaking way louder than their words or what their publicist teams are putting out here, and their fans in Hollywood, like their friends in Hollywood especially, that they're not, there's nothing legit about it, basically. So, you know, to me, it's just a bad look for Netflix. It's a bad look for them, but they really do believe that people are gonna eat it up and go against William and Catherine especially, and want to tear down the monarch and, you know, probably put Buckingham Palace to flames, you know. I told you all in a reading not too long ago that, you know, this was their plan. I told you there was going to be a lot of tragedies around the same time. And I know over time, a lot of you have spied out to me and said, oh my God, Simone, you know, you said this was going to happen. You predicted this, you're whatever. And I did. And, you know, of course, you know, you don't want it to happen. Nobody wanted the queen to die the way and leave the situation the way it was left. Nobody wanted that to happen, but it was just a season of great sadness and, quite frankly, disrespect. I mean, the whole time at the funeral, you know, Meghan was also trying to get attention by crying on command and, you know, deep curtsy. I mean, when the queen was alive, she really didn't have much respect for her at all, in her last days. So the hypocrisy is on full blast. So, you know, it's going to be a pack of lies. We already know that. It's going to be sensationalized, sadly. And it's just very unfortunate that they're just taking this for a ride. Any allegation that sounds sensational, they can hang their hat on, they're taking to the bank, and I have a very sneaky, sad feeling that it's gonna happen for forever and a day. They're never gonna stop, especially if they're not gonna get any money from the royal family, directly. They will do whatever they want to do, to be sensationalized and make their money. I have no doubt about that whatsoever in my mind. So sadly, the Meghan and the Markle debacle continues, and it's just very sad to see how they've tried to pull not only themselves down, but they're trying to pull everybody else down with them, and they're not going to stop until they're more popular, than William and Catherine. Their narrative is the most dominant in the world. That's how it's coming across. I've seen people say that. So thank you all for listening to my commentary on the trailer. I will have a lot more in store for you all, following up with what is happening. It is very, very disgusting and sad to see. I'm not surprised, but I definitely think that just the audacity of Netflix to even try to take this seriously, to me, is what I think is so ridiculous. It's just such a bad look, not only for Harry and Meghan, but I think for the company. It's very salacious, it's very scandalous, and if you're a reputable company, why would you want to be tied to two buffoons, two clowns in this way? Why would you want to take on a liability? That's what Harry and Meghan are. They're a liability. So the direction that I think, our new King Charles, should go in outright is strip him, take those titles away. They clearly don't want to be in the royal family. They clearly have no respect for the future king and queen, which is William and Catherine. They are enemies, clearly, clear as day. So they have no respect. And I did see somebody say under a post on social media that King Charles needs to take his hat out of, being a father and be a king. This calls for a moment to be king and not just a papa. King Charles has to now realize that they have waged war. They are trying to take you out of here. They're trying to slander everything that they represent. Harry is slandering his own family. What's worse than that? There's nothing else that they can do except try to make up a huge worse lie that would be, outright ridiculous. So I think that the royal family have to remain strong for not only the Commonwealth, but for everything that the rest of them have built and have worked so hard for, including Diana. Diana was a part of that royal family. She married into the royal family. That's the only reason why, far as we know, by DNA, Harry and we know William, but by now, but Harry's questionable, but Harry and William are even as rich as they are. If Diana never married into the family and never had babies, Harry wouldn't be here. So in a sick and twisted way, he's using Diana for the trailer preview, but then on top of that, he is disrespecting her legacy as well, and he doesn't even see that. So that's what I have to say about it for now. What did you all think about the trailer? Are you going to watch? I know people, most people are going to watch because they want to see what the lies are, right? They want to see what they said, not because they particularly like Harry and Meghan, but it's just a general knowing that the public, including myself, if you want to cover it, if you want to see what they really said, you have to watch it for yourself, sadly. So we'll see how that goes down. But thank you all again. Make sure you like, thumbs up, and subscribe if you enjoyed my commentary on the topic. That's all for now. Bye.